Hey everybody, Adam here from Dungeons & Dragons Fanatics, and just wanted to take a quick sneak peek at the Making of Original Dungeons & Dragons, which I was able to get my hands on recently, courtesy of Wizards of the Coast. So just want to do a quick video to take a look at what we have here. As you can see here, we have some really cool initial illustrations, and we have our cover, and this is a very, very hefty book. As you can see here, we're talking 576 pages, and it's quite large, as you can see here, pretty hefty, really, really nice gold embossed cover here. And I'm not going to go super in depth here, but just kind of wanted to give you a feel for what you can expect to see here. So we've got quite a bit here in terms of the forward, some really awesome early art. Looks like we have some initial art here too from some correspondence with Gary Gygax. And the book is really, it's not so much a history book as it is a reprinting of some of the early materials. And you can see here some of the early maps from D&D. I think that was from possibly some of the earlier, yes, the Great Kingdom. So this is sort of what the basis of Greyhawk. And everyone was able to kind of make their own, control their own sort of sections of the kingdom. You can kind of see some early art here as well from some of the earliest game materials when it was really more of a war game. So you can see here some of the early chainmail materials. So chainmail was as we know, the initial content for miniature wards that were then kind of ported over to D&D here. And the book is really like this. It's got a ton of material that is, and you can see here too, they're even mentioning hobbits, which they, and ents, which are eventually required to remove after the Tolkien estate sued them. And yeah, you can see here just how much the book has changed, some of the early correspondence. So it's really cool if you're a huge fan of kind of the history and lore of D&D. This book is definitely going to be something you want to check out. It includes here a lot too on Blackmoor, which was Dave Arneson's original campaign. Including some of the early maps, which is really, really cool, and some of the NPCs and players that were involved. This is really cool too. It's actually a early character sheet, so sort of one of the first handwritten character sheets. And the quality of the paper here and the materials is really, really cool. And you can kind of see some of the initial ads that they had done for early products. Some of the correspondence between Gygax and Dave Arneson, who created D&D before the relationship kind of got a little soured. Just some very, very cool stuff in here too. And this is just sort of scratching the surface. The book's sort of broken out, and you can see they kind of color-coded it here, so you have a red section and a blue sections for each material that kind of tracks the history of the game. And it's just incredibly detailed and an incredible bit of lore. So it's not so much, there's not a lot of commentary. It's literally just reprints of original materials with a little bit of context here and there. But you can actually kind of go through this, and this is pretty cool for the third part, which is actually the Men in Magic supplement for D&D. That came out in, I believe here it says 1973. So it's really, really cool just to be able to access all this. And it does have some original art, which is definitely, you can see it's definitely improved a lot over the years, even even despite some criticisms. And just a fascinating book. You can also see here some of the original dice that they used, some of the additional supplements that were released, including some early dungeons designs. And like I said here, this isn't really, it's not something necessarily that someone who is just wants to learn like the high level overview. It really is a lot more of the rules and getting into the minutia of how this works. But it's just an amazing book. And just if you have any familiarity with D&D, and including the history, you can really get a good sense. And this actually is also the first supplement. So this is the Greyhawk supplement, which fittingly Wizards of the Coast is now bringing back for the Dungeon Master's Guide and Player's Handbook is kind of the primary setting for D&D. So very cool stuff in here too, especially, and you can kind of see just like the quality of the printing and the artwork and layout design really improved as the game progressed here. So we got a bit of a fly flying around here. And you can also see some early monster designs too, including a bugbear, and just a really cool book. So again, this is also looking at the Blackmore supplement as well, and get a good sense of how that progressed as well. And again, really cool old school art. If it's kind of worth it just for that. And also just as the campaign world of D&D and Greyhawk kind of expanded, you see some of these additional adventures and materials. And this is really cool too, some of the early dungeon designs as well. So this is a lot of this particular section is really about the adventures and some of the expansions. And then we have here too some additional supplements and Eldritch Wizardry here as well, which I think eventually, and Men in Magic really sort of fed into Unearthed Arcana. And like I said, this is a huge book, kind of some early concept art of the Demigorgon. Sword of Cass as well here is listed, which is very kind of fitting as well with what we know with Vecna, Eve of Ruin, and the role that Vecna and Cass played. Same here with the Rod of Seven Parts in the Hand of Vecna, Eye of Vecna. So all, really cool to see these items that have kind of lasted over 50 years and are still coming back in. So really cool, beautiful book. Definitely something you're going to want to check out if you're a fan of D&D and just kind of want to get a good sense of the history of this of the game. Great book. Would definitely recommend checking this out. It is going to be available for purchase on June 18th, but you can pre-order it right now. So yeah, check it out. Just wanted to share a quick overview of this, and thanks so much for watching. Take care.
And that's it for this week's D&D news. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. What story are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Dungeons & Dragons Fanatics.